narcissistic people are hijacking those movements, because narcissistic people, it's like the perfect medium of growth for those parasites, really. Because if you think about it, any social justice movement or any organization, it becomes a cult, actually. It becomes a cult, a group of people who believe blindly. Nowadays especially, it shouldn't be like that. You should be a reasonable human who, when presented with evidence that actually fossil fuel doesn't suck as much as you, although it might, I'm not sure, as much as you claim, you should go, oh, I didn't know that, when it's clear evidence. And but no, they, all of those movements, they don't change their stances, they don't want to change their ways. Nuclear power is bad, that's it. Nuclear power is bad. And I guess in Western Europe, in Germany, for example, they shut down many of their nuclear reactors, power nuclear reactors, just because nuclear power.
As we examine the methods, we look for a double-blind design and the reported sample size. The results highlight the relative risk.
Potential leaps and advancements that are expected in the near future. It will be it will be just,
Yeah,
illogical to not go back, and not go back only, like establish and do, start building more nuclear reactors. But they are still here again going against common sense. And this is why I mentioned the story of what is happening in Palestine and Israel. It's because the left is saying that Hamas is part of the global left. How can Hamas, a religious group, be part of it? It's a joke to say that. It's so you're making a laughing stock of yourself when you say that. This is a group of fundamentalist Muslims who believe that Jews, especially Jews, there is like a special mention of Jews, like those infidels and Jews in Quran, like specifically they mention them, like out of all the bad people, and these especially, should not be allowed to stay in a Muslim land. You have to do something about it.
yeah. I believe maybe because this is because of historical reasons, according to the Islam history, that Jews they betrayed the Muslims and they broke their truce. And
Regardless
I
of
believe this is the reason.
Muslims' reasons, you can't
Yeah,
just disregard them. But the point is, they are not tolerant regarding anything. They are a typical excuse me, a typical right-wing movement.
I believe they are mostly
Far right. If you want to imagine,
brotherhood. They're among they're from the brotherhoods, I believe.
yeah, I think they belong to the Brotherhood. Some of them maybe fundamentalist Wahhabis or whatever. It should be mostly maybe belonging to the Brotherhood, and other like fundamentalist Muslims. That's all. That's what you will find there.
Yeah,
And Hezbollah too, not only Hamas, Hezbollah as well, belonging to the global left, or global far left.
yeah,
What kind of a crazy statement is this?
yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should ask the other parties. Do they consider themselves as the left? Because you cannot. For example, I can consider you as my friend, but do you consider yourself
Maybe
as
if
my
I
friend?
don't, it will be weird. Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously, I believe that we, from our experience and our long life experience, or lifelong, sorry, experience being Arabs ourselves, I don't think we need to ask Hamas and Hezbollah whether they are far left, far
yeah.
left or
That,
not.
that,
Without a doubt, they are a far right movement that has no tolerance for Jews, especially for Jews. So to behave as if it's And actually, if you think about it, it makes sense. But like, it's like the far left is associating themselves with Hamas and Hezbollah on a subconscious level, because maybe in their, actually, for real, for sure, they subconsciously know that what they are doing is intolerant, just as the Hezbollah and Hamas
Or maybe
are.
that because they are seen as terrorists among between I mean, in the West they are seen as terrorists, but in fact, are they terrorists or not? I mean, it's debatable. Or
Yeah, it is debatable, frankly. What they did is a crime. The way they initiated the attack, yeah, I guess it can be described as an act of terrorism, or it's terrorizing other people, especially civilians, when we're talking about it in this way. But they view it differently. They view it as occupied, because in reality, according to the 1967 United Nations resolution, even the area, the strip of Gaza, is much more larger. So maybe it even included those areas that they broke in, I mean, and committed those horrendous crimes, frankly. But besides that, again, to go back in history, they have been living, all of them, all of the Palestinians in Palestine, especially, as well as those in abroad,
in apartheid.
under, yeah, and under the what the aftermath of 1947 and what happened back then. It has been now 3/4 of a century.
1948, yeah.
Yeah, 3/4 of a century exactly, in of suffering. They don't have a home. They are kicked out of their homes. There are stories that continually happen, and I myself, I support the peaceful resolution of this issue. I don't see any way where, because I know, and this is my view, of course, it's just a personal opinion, is that they won't, like Palestinians, they will not be ever, or any Muslims, frankly, happy to live with Israelis in one country as citizens of one place. Like, neither party will trust the other. So the best solution is a two-state solution, peaceful way to. This is what I believe. So what they did is very harmful to this